And I love that. It was the time kind of before it became, NXT as a brand. That was like such a great group of people there. And they were all key parts of that. Yeah, the Rotunda brothers, Xavier Woods, all those dudes. It was great. The guys who would become the Shield and the Wyatt family. That was an awesome time there. I loved it. Yeah.
I've seen you go takedowns in the gorilla position before. So that's. I mean, we have.
I've been known to do that a time or two. So Ryan, you remember your first match, how it went and everything?
Oh, it was my first match was against or with Bull Payne.
Who?
But yeah, well, it was somewhere in Indiana. I was just assumed I was again building the ring and tearing down the ring and maybe doing ring security or something. And then whoever was in charge that night came over and said, "It's you and Bull Payne. And it's gonna be 7 minutes or whatever." And I said, "Wait, I don't know how to wrestle yet." And he said, "Nah, he's been around a while. Don't worry." And Bull Payne, he looked like a biker guy, and he wore a giant padlock chain and lock around his
Was he
neck.
an older guy, right? Much
He
older.
was, yep. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know Bull Payne. He was
Yep. Okay.
he was one of Killer Tim Brooks' buddies, Jerry, down in I don't know if you ever
Okay.
wrestled much in Texas, but him and Killer were friends.
Okay.
So he said, "How long have you been working?" I said, "I've just been here a few months. I'm just training. I'm very new, but I'll listen and do. I know the basic things. I can sell." And he said, "Can you do that thing where you hop up from the apron to the rope and jump off?" And I said, "No, I can't do that." And
Absolutely not.
he said, "Yeah, all you young guys can do that stuff now. Can you hit me with one of those?" And I said, I can't do it." He meant just boing boing. I said, "No, I can't."
Oh, just one of those.
And he said, "Are you sure? Can you do it?" I'm like, I really can't, man. I can't. He goes, "Okay, don't worry about it. It'll be all right." And then we went out there and he chopped me in the corner and he goes, "Turn me around, give me some chops." And I'm just like, okay, I said I would listen. So I turn around and I chop right on the lock because he's still wearing the chain of the key. And I go, and he goes, "Ha ha ha." I'm like, yeah.
It's all part of
Yeah,
his plan.
you got me, man. Yeah. So at some point he goes, "I'm gonna suplex you." I'm like, okay. And he suplexes me and I just like sell, and then he goes, "We better go home. You're freaking out. We better go home." And then he just hits the finish. Yeah. And I thought, well, I couldn't do much beyond that, but I wasn't really freaking out. But he did get me with the chop. The chop thing was pretty good, Anyway,
That's an old guy that didn't want to work.
yeah. And then afterwards,
hey, you're freaking out. I need to go over now before your heat.
Yeah.
yeah. So afterwards, it seemed like everyone else in the show thought it was really funny, like I was being ribbed, and I thought, okay, I get it. No one, okay, yeah, all right, that's fine. But he was very nice to me and cool, so thanks, Bull Payne. Appreciate it. It was in just over the bridge somewhere in Indiana, and not many people were there. And yeah.
And when did you go from, say, OVW to where you went to TNA? And
we had it's that weekend that Johnny Ace came down to check people out. We all had matches and we all cut promos, and then it's very confusing. I think Nick will remember my point of view on this one because I was asking him what this meant. He came over to me afterwards and said, "Do you like living in Kentucky?" And I said, "It's okay. I moved here for this." And he said, "You ever go to Florida, like Tampa, Florida?" And I said, "I've been there once. I liked it a lot." He goes, "Would you ever consider moving there to work for us?" And I said, "Definitely yes."
Yes.
And he said, "What do you weigh? How tall are you?" "All right, cool. I think that's a good idea. We'd like
6'3", 1,268 pounds.
That's right. That's right.
So he said, "How would you like to come work for us?" Like literally said that, and I was like, "Is this how it happens?" "Yeah, I would love to." And we shook hands, and then I think right afterwards, maybe I called or texted you and said, "I think he just said he wants to send me to FCW and hire me." And then I think you said, "I'll talk to him Monday." And then I think you said, I asked him about it. He said he didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, okay. All right. So I was waiting for like a contract to come in the mail that never was coming, and then,
God. I thought he was like joking around with you. That's
no,
real.
you said you asked him and he didn't know what you were talking about.
No idea.
But everybody saw us talking. He said it to and you were like, "Just be cool, just be cool." And then at some point, it was a month and a half later, Kristen Altman called me and said, "We'd like to have you come for a tryout at FCW." And I thought, okay, cool. But I thought I already did the tryout.
Yeah.
But of course I went, and it was, man, that was a great week, really great week. who is the coolest to me there, probably of people that were actively in FCW, or I guess they were on the NXT game show, Husky Harris, Bray Wyatt. We were doing some man in the middle drill that week. And I think he looked at me and thought, man, this he's a little nervous. He goes, hey, don't freak out, don't breathe heavy, just go slow. Everything's totally cool. And I thought, well, that's nice because I'm trying out to theoretically be your competition here. So the fact that everyone here was basically, and West Briscoe, everybody was very, very cool to me there. And I don't know if that was because Nick was my brother or if they were just cool because they just wanted, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I thought this is cool because I always hear how cutthroat and brutal
Yeah,
is.
Wyndham was a great guy. Wyndham was a
He was
good
awesome.
leader down there. That's how Wyndham and most of those guys that hung around West and all
Yeah.
those guys that hung around.
Oh, yeah.
Together, they wanted new guys to take the heat off of them. So they were nice to you.
That's a great way of looking
And
at
I
it.
love that. It was the time kind of before it became, NXT as a brand. That was like such a great group of people there. And they were all key parts of that. Yeah, the Rotunda brothers, Xavier Woods, all those dudes. It was great. The guys who would become the Shield and the Wyatt family. That was an awesome time there. I loved it. Yeah.
And Roman was
time.
there too at that time.
Roman, yep,
right?
he was there. Yep.
That
I
was a hell of a
pool.
crew there.
I was walking to a pool one time at a hotel there in Tampa, and a guy yells at me. It was late at night. And the guy yells at me. He goes, "Hey!" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm the wrong one-legged guy." And I said, "I'm sorry, what?" And remember John Laurinaitis said hired the wrong one-legged guy. He's looking for Jack Allen. And I met the guy. He's a super nice guy. He's all jacked up. He was
Yeah.
And
He was in FCW a little bit.
was he?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they hired him. They had to keep him for a while. I
But
don't know.
for a little bit, yeah. But I've seen him yell that to other people, like, I'm the wrong one-legged guy.
I was walking to the
Oh,
pool,
man.
and he's in the pool, and he goes, "I'm the wrong one-legged guy." And I said, "I'm sorry." I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, "Well,
What a way to go through life, right? I'm the wrong one. Right?
yeah." And he goes, "Look at me, I'm all jacked up. They should have hired me." And I said, I don't know what you want me to say. And then, but like he pulled up, the leg, and showed me his leg was missing, which I didn't doubt him.
I need proof before I can say you're the
That's right.
wrong one-legged guy. Chambers, last name is Chambers. I forget his first name, but he ended up being around there for a while. That's
Really?
so
He seemed
funny.
like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's
a
jacked. Nice guy.
And the guy really he has a foundation now that he gives prosthetic legs to people that don't have both legs. He does a fundraiser, has bike-a-thons and stuff like motorbikes, and they go around. He lost his leg on a motorcycle accident, so he goes around helping people that recover from that type of injuries.
But how about this business is the only business where somebody hires the wrong one?
Yeah.
Somebody hires the wrong one, and then he lets everyone know that I'm the wrong
That's right.
one-legged guy.
Speaking of the wrong guy, this is there's one time I was hanging out in the office with Dr. Tom after practice or in between or something, and they were kind of, I won't name any other names of who this was in case it's a sensitive story, but they were kind of talking about one of the new guys like not turning out so well as far as learning wrestling for 6 months. And someone was like, "Yeah, well, that was your guy." And then the other coach goes, "No, that was your guy." And they're kind of all like pointing the blame on each other. And then they're all like, "No, I wanted him over him, the guy we didn't hire." And it seemed like they all were wanting that other guy, and someone just wrote the wrong name on the
Oh man.
and I was sitting there thinking, I shouldn't know this. And this is, if you're a wrestler who's a teenager who's been trying, this is your dream, and you're in, Milwaukee training and hoping someday, and then you find out this is sometimes how things go, like, oh no, but it's just real life, there's
You can have a handshake that says you are our new recruit in FCW for WWE, and a handshake like I'll be there, and that doesn't mean anything. And someone
never heard of him. No,
well, I hired some guy named Brian Reynolds. That's kind of the same. Whatever. It'll be fine. It's like I've been trying for this for 25 years, and it's my dream. Okay, don't worry about it.
That's the human error of it. And you can see all their faces just go like, oh no,
That's the wrong guy.